Hey everybody, welcome to another Blabbin' About Slabbin' video. And this week, Topps is releasing Bowman Sapphire. And Chris and I have talked a lot about wax prices and how they're rising and how we prefer to buy singles instead. So we thought we'd do a series about cards we would choose over specific products. And this Bowman Sapphire box is $429 MSRP. That's a lot of money to spend on 32 cards. So we're going to talk about what other cards we would choose to go after instead of this. So before we get into it, we'll tell you this is not financial advice. Don't go out and invest in these cards just because we're talking about them. It's just the direction that we would head if somebody gave us the choice, box in one hand or one of these cards in the other hand, the direction we would go.
So what Jeff and I have done, we took this MSRP and we came up with 6 cards, give or take, that we think are better buys, or that we would at least prefer to have, than rip one of these boxes. So Jeff, you want to kick us off?
Sure. I would prefer many cards to this. The first one is a Juan Soto SP from his rookie year, and it's the hands on hips variation. Yes, Chris is doing it just like that. And it's a cool card. It's an SP. It's a short print. It's not a super short print, so there are some of them out there. But he doesn't have a lot of rookie cards, as we've talked about many times, and he doesn't have a lot of short prints. So I would look at that. The last sales have been right in that area, about 425. The pop on that is 368 with 785 total at PSA. So you're under 1,000 cards. Juan Soto is one of the more popular players right now, one of the hottest players. The PSA pop is under 400. So it's, imagine having that in one hand or this box in the other hand, and which one would you want to keep? And I would definitely take the hands on hips. So that's my first choice. Chris, what about you?
100%. I completely agree. I love that card. And yeah, we talked about how Soto came up late, so he doesn't have as many rookies as a lot of the other 2018 class does, like Otani and Devers and Albies seem like they're in absolutely everything. That's a fantastic card. And at 450, easy choice. So Soto is one of the front runners for AL MVP. The first cards I want to talk about are the front runner for NL MVP, which is Mookie Betts. Like Soto, not a ton of rookies.
Right.
So in 2014, I'm going to give you 2 options that are right in the same price range as Bowman Sapphire. His Topps Chrome, which is only available in those big blaster boxes of Topps Paper Update. There were no standalone like Chrome hobby boxes. So it's a base card, but it's not a very common base card. The PSA 10 of his Topps Chrome card currently sells for about $450. And there's, I believe, if I wrote this down correctly, about 700 PSA 10s. The other bets I would consider is the 2014 Topps Update. The Smiling Dugout is an SP. Now the PSA 10 is going to run you more than this box, but a PSA 9 is right there, about 400, 450, anywhere in there. It's a fantastic card. It's one of his best rookie images, and it's pretty tough to find. In a PSA 9, let me see, there's 393 total of that card at PSA, 236 gems, and 118 PSA 9s. So that's, if Betts really starts to take off, I think the flagship SP is going to be one of his most popular rookies long term.
A low pop rookie SP of a future Hall of Famer, or the box of Bowman Sapphire. All right. Yeah. Great options there. I'm going to go with perhaps the second in line, maybe for NL MVP, his teammate Shohei Otani. And I'm also going to pick a short print of Otani, and I'm going to go with, I believe PSA calls it the warm-up shirt. He's wearing a red warm-up, kind of batting practice, got a big smile on his face, empty stands behind him. Now, this is a similar pop to the Soto, so it's not ultra rare. It's there's 696 total at PSA. Pop of the PSA 10 of this is 387, under 400. But again, Otani's got a huge fan base, just like Soto, even bigger, global fan base. So that supply doesn't bother me as much on a card for him, especially in this price range. Now, the last couple have ticked up, so you might be looking at a little bit higher, but there was a sale earlier this month for $425, and they're out there, they're available. So I would try to shoot for something like that over the box.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell if you're watching this. You already know Jeff and I like a good short print. Yeah, anything out of flagship. Otani's got a ton of rookies, but the stuff out of flagship is going to be probably the safest avenue. I'm willing to bet you if you could probably get a like a Topps Chrome refractor.
Yes,
in a
I was
PSA 10
looking at
for
those.
right around the same price.
Those are exactly in this price range. So
Yeah.
if that's your cup of tea, if you'd like a refractor or stay away from SPs, that'd be a great choice.
Yeah. All right, I'm up. Let's see here. Okay, one of the other AL MVP frontrunners is a man who gets no respect and who also has no chin. And that is, of course, Mr. Kyle Tucker of the Houston Astros, who, as of our recording here, is at least tied for the Major League lead in home runs. Really putting it all together. His first Bowman Chrome autos are in 2015. I believe they're in Bowman Draft. And they are absurdly cheap for someone who has been as consistent as Kyle Tucker is. The last couple sales, I looked at refractors in a BGS 9.5, and like a purple and a refractor both went for right around $300 or a little bit more. So, I mean, if you look at this Bowman Sapphire prospect checklist, I mean, could we really hope that one of those players could perform better than a guy like Kyle Tucker, who has just been so consistent?
He's been ultra consistent. Like you said, he's been ignored in the hobby. But what happens if he does win an MVP? You got to feel like he'll get at least a little bump. So if you're even looking for a short-term purchase, that seems like a good option. That's a great choice. Yeah, he's been on fire. The other guy in the American League who has also been on fire is my third pick, and that's Gunnar Henderson. And he's got a lot of rookie cards. Everybody now has a lot of rookie cards. But I wanted to look at something that's not quite as popular, or not quite as populous, but very popular, and that would be his Heritage auto, his Heritage Real One auto. It's a great image of him just swinging the bat, just following through. 2023, it's his rookie. He's coming out of the box. It's a great image, and there's not that many of them. At this price range, you'd be looking at a PSA 9, which is right in there, and there's 46 of those, but there's only 105 total at PSA. So Heritage autos seem to hold value and really stand up. And similar to the Kyle Tucker purchase, this could be a good short-term one too. Maybe you're a long-term believer in Henderson, but it could be short-term. If the Orioles make a run, he makes an MVP run, something like this would be good to turn around and sell and maybe get another card for your PC.
Yeah, I mean, who was the last shortstop to lead the league in home runs? Anyone want to tell us in the comments? That's a little nifty bit of trivia there. Okay. Yeah, Gunnar Henderson is amazing. He was one of those guys. He's on a list of, I think, for me especially, players I missed out on. This offseason, he was a guy I really wanted to get like something nice of. And I went with my heart. I bought Spencer Strider instead. And the less said about that is better. Anyway, so speaking of rookies, and if you're interested in ripping Bowman Sapphire, maybe you just like Bowman Sapphire. So let me give you a couple options that are part of Bowman Sapphire, but I think better buys than this box. So in 2022, Topps introduced image variations into their Bowman Chrome Sapphire product for rookies. So we have really cool image variations for Julio Rodriguez and Bobby Witt Jr. And these cards actually do look fantastic. I've seen a couple in person. The images are cool. They're very like sort of cinematic hero low angle shots. Really nice looking cards. The Julio base in a PSA 10 is going to run you about $400. If you pulled that out of a box, you would be thrilled. And that's
right
before even paying the grading fees and having it gem. And the Witt variation, I couldn't find a lot of sales on the base, but the last Aqua parallel, and I'm not a huge fan of non-gold, non-blue parallels, but the last Aqua parallel in a PSA 10 also sold for right around $400.
Yeah, and there's two guys who, I mean, J-Rod's struggling a little bit, but he has established himself, and so has Witt. Witt's another guy in the MVP conversation this year. And like Chris said, if you pull those out of a box, you're extremely happy. So what could you get out of this box that would come close to making you feel that way?
Probably nothing.
Probably nothing. So let us know in the comments what you think about our choices. If you like this topic for a show, if you have other suggestions you'd make instead of buying the box, or if you are going to be one of those brave souls that does buy this box of Bowman Sapphire, please let us know in the comments. And thanks again for joining us. Take care.